Dylan here with Kelly. Today we're going to talk a little bit about like pain and like what does each kind of pain really mean. So like if we are feeling a little bit of ickiness or pain during a workout, does it mean one thing or does it mean another thing? And also if we find I didn't have anything before I came into the gym, and then after the first day or so or first month, something's starting to now flare up a little bit. Is that from the gym or is that like a past injury or like just from work in general? So yeah, let's talk first about like kind of the difference between pains. Like you get two different ones. So like first thing comes to my head, let's say we did 100 lunges in the workout. A lot of people are going to feel pain after that.
Yeah, you'd be a little sore.
So let's say you get into 20 reps of lunges. What's the typical pain that you're going to feel at that point?
Yeah, like that would probably be like you're burning, right? Because there's lactic acid in your muscles, so your legs are burning. You're getting tired. They feel like they're getting stiff, but it's not like that's not a dangerous thing. That's not nothing bad is going to happen. So that's where we want to distinguish between like, is it just really uncomfortable and I don't want to necessarily stay here very long, or is it actually hurting, right? So then another good example, say you're getting through there and you get like a pinch in your hip or your knee, like it hurts. So I'll often describe it to people like a sharp shooting pain or numbness. So numbness, you probably pinched a nerve somewhere. We should probably take a break. And as well, like if it actually like hurts, then yes, we need to do something different. But general like discomfort, that's something that we kind of should expect to come with our exercise.
Yeah, discomfort, I think I've always been described, or I describe it as like kind of like a burning sensation.
Yeah, just burning, you're like, whew, like gosh, my legs are on fire or whatever, right?
Everything just feels really heavy.
Yes.
That's kind of like that discomfort feeling.
Yeah, and it's human nature. We don't want to be uncomfortable. So what our brain does, it goes, oh, well, I better stop. So when it's just uncomfortable, like, no, we can keep going, and that's how we get stronger and better and all that stuff. It just happens to be a little uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
When it's painful, then yes, we definitely should be stopping, talking to the coach or whatever, like kind of like that.
Yeah, and getting feedback and everything. And then that will kind of translate into like, let's say we've been working out for a month. We never had issues at all, and then out of nowhere we do, let's say a movement, let's just say overhead pressing. The next day, we get a little bit of stiffness or a little bit of tightness in the shoulder, and then we do another overhead pressing, and then it's like, okay, now it's starting to get a little bit more. We never had that when we first started, but after a month, we started getting that. Would you say that's more like, okay, something's going on with the workout, or is that like a past injury that's kind of flared up?
Yeah, like I definitely think, so if we think of when we start at the gym, generally speaking, it's probably not from like birth, unless we were like into sports or whatever, but a lot of people will start coming to the gym in their 30s, 40s, or 50s because we want to start something good for ourselves. Well, if we've got 30, 40, 50 years behind us of manual labor, office work, lifting things over your head, we've probably got some imbalances somewhere, but we just don't know that they're there. So that Dylan's got a great example of the shoulder and the overhead press. Probably what goes on is all of a sudden we're introducing this new movement to our body, right? Very safe in general. However, if there's shoulder misalignment or we've got, weak back muscles, which most of us do, but a really tight chest, and then we're pressing this bar overhead all the time, it makes sense that eventually it's going to start to talk to us. And that's where we need to, then we take that knowledge of, okay, is this just like my shoulders are burning because it's a great workout and I'm working hard? Or am I getting like, that pinch, stiffness, numbness, and then you go home and it's just different. That means we need to, number one, let your coach know that this feels yucky. And then what we do is we're going to refer out to either physio, chiro, osteopath, something like that, because we want to listen to our body. If we don't listen to it, that little nagging pinch or pull is going to get louder and louder and louder until eventually you're going to say, oh my God, I can't even put my arm over my head, right? So knowing the difference and how that feels for you is really important. And then most important is listening to it. Okay, so we bring into the gym all of the things behind us, and then oftentimes it's just when we introduce that new movement, that new range of motion, those old things that were always there, they just go, hey, I'm really here, and now we want to do something with it.
Yeah. Another big one I know that we see a lot will be deadlifts, lower back.
Totally.
Lower
right?
back is one of those movements that it doesn't matter what, because like right now we're sitting, after a while, if we were to get up and start doing deadlifting or start lifting, our lower back's going to flare up a little bit. Now, that one's a very tough one because, yeah, it's knowing the difference between those. The lower back, I feel like, is a lot more.
Yeah, and that's a tough one too, because like, in terms of the deadlift, like you're using your core to do the work, but then when your core gets tired, like we have muscles in our back, and our back muscles are going to get tired. So that comes back to knowing as well the difference between like, is this pain or just my back muscles are fatigued? Also picking appropriate weights. That's important. Listening to your body, but recognizing it's like there's a difference between low back fatigue and low back pain, right? But also, as Dylan said, like we're sitting, and what do most of us do most of the day?
On phone.
Sit down, right? Scrolling. Like we're doing this. So then the other thing that comes into play is now you start coming to the gym and we're doing deadlifts, which are inherently actually very good for us. Yeah. However, we're coming into the gym with weak cores, weak glutes, weak butts. Hip flexors are a mess, right? Everything's kind of a mess at the beginning, and that's okay. So understanding how your body works, how it feels, having that open dialogue with your coach, and doing, different deadlift variations, and that's just an example, but that honor where you're at, knowing that that's going to get you farther in the long run than just throwing on all this weight and, hoping for the best, because that doesn't usually work very well.
It works for the first
little while until you're like,
yeah,
oh, it really hurts bad. Right, so then we've moved a little bit too far into the pain point. We don't want that, right? Exercise shouldn't be it shouldn't be painful. It shouldn't cause you to not be able to function in your everyday life. It's normal to be sore, right? It's normal to wake up and go, oh, my butt is so sore. Like, that's okay, it's okay. But when, you're okay, have a bath. But when it gets to the point where you can't, do things in your everyday life, that's really where we want to reevaluate, what is it that I'm doing? What changes do I need to make? And working with, your coaches and, other professionals in the area is really important.
Yeah. I think that's everything we got.
Listen to your body.
Yeah.
Right? Work hard, but listen to your body and, hire a coach.
So, thank you for joining us. This is just talking about just knowing the difference between different types of pains and everything. But yeah, thank you for joining us and hope to see you soon.
Thanks, everyone.
See ya.